right, let's see what we get. Should be good. All right. I'm trying to see if there's anybody out there watching. See what kind of comments we got coming up. Get this thing moving. Move this around just a little. There we go. We can see who's there. All right, guys. I hope you can hear me. It doesn't look like anybody's up there right now, but I'm packing gear for a wedding. Thought you might like to come along with me on that little journey as we get moving. So let's get this stuff moving along. SD cards, man, it's always something with SD cards. So I pack all kinds of SD cards when I go. As you can see, you're always going to need something that you don't expect to need. So right now we're going to test just to make sure this little feed is working properly. Let's go ahead right here. Check it out. Still nobody up there. It's okay. My channel. Let's see what it says. Let's see if I'm up here broadcasting right now. You would think it would show that I was live. As turning subscriber. Not too bad. Maybe it shows up on my Facebook post or something, but it's not showing me anything right here. It's okay. We'll keep it moving though. I wonder if it's on one of my other channels. No, it's not up there either. What about you, Facebook? What's it look like on Facebook? So looks like there's about a 20-second delay just for anybody that's interested. Anyway, I don't think that there's anybody going to show up as far as watching. So looks like there's a. But if you are watching, you can hit some comments up there. I'm going to just continue on, kind of give you a little up-to-date information about what goes into my gear bag. And that's what I was trying to do today. So hope that you enjoy. And if anybody knows why it won't show my live stream straight from my page, I don't understand that. I would expect that it would have, but que sera, you know, what will be will be. Anyways, it's time to close this up. Guys, Robert Ham here. You know me because you're coming this way. And like I was talking about SD cards, so I always take all kinds of SD cards. And I use the micro SDs because that's what fits in my Surface Pro 4. And I need them to fit in the Surface Pro 4 in order for me to be ready to rock and roll, ready to move pretty quickly. Now we got another lens I want to take. Here we go. Okay, so all this stuff's got to go. The absolute vast majority of it has got to go. All right. So as I get my gear kind of put together over here, these are just the cameras and stuff that I'll be taking. And we've got, of course, the XT1, the X Pro 1, the X100S, and I'm also taking an Olympus 35 RD. That'll be my fun camera for me while I'm on the trip. And you know, when you start moving this stuff around, you got to get your batteries situated pretty quickly so that they work right for you, and you got to think how they're going to fit into your whole workflow. And also, if you don't know, guys, you got to synchronize your cameras. So that's what we're doing right now. Just going to synchronize those cameras. So I'm going to take all this stuff, pop a battery in it. Then once I get the battery in it, I'll decide which SD cards I want to use and which one. And I'll explain why I use different SD cards and different devices. If it's not already obvious, I use different SD cards because they have different requirements. You know, each camera is going to perform a different role for me. And I'm also, you know, I use these Wasabi battery packs right here. Wasabi Power, they've worked great for me over the years. So the first thing I do with these guys is turn them all on, go into the menu. And this happens every single time. We got to go to date and time. And I got to look to see that my date and time is the same across every single one of these guys. Because you don't want there to be any difference between your internal clock for your cameras, because if there is, they're going to show up. Your photos, when you import them into Lightroom, they won't show up at all at the same times. So you want them to be ready to go. And this is just pretty simple stuff, but you know, here we go. Check this out. So this one shows 11:20 p.m. This one shows 11:24, and this one shows 11:22, all in year, month, day, and all on the same day. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put everything over to 11:25. It doesn't actually matter what time you set them for, because you're not really, I don't really care about the time that much. I care about them all being synchronized, okay? And so that's why I say it doesn't matter. So I'm going to set them to all 11:25 on the same day. I'm going to press OK, OK, and OK. So now all the dates and times are exactly the same, 11:25, 11:25, 11:25. And so the little short amount of time that's a difference between them doesn't particularly matter. Go ahead and shut them all off. Now they need this battery to stay in there in order to be able to maintain the proper synchronization. Otherwise, it's all for naught. Okay, so now before we get going with the, I'll go ahead and put this battery in here. Actually, I'm going to grab one of these guys. That was loud, wasn't it? So I got the Fuji pack, and just use that. So here, put that sucker in right here. Bingo. Okay. So the X-T1's got the battery pack. That's going to go on there. So the question is now, like, which lenses am I going to use? I don't really have to do much here because it's already done. It's a fixed lens system, so you know that's all she wrote, right? But here we've got some things to concern ourselves with, and the first one is the wedding's going to be outdoors. It's going to take place. Well, it's going to take place inside a house, of course, and then it's going to move to outdoor wedding at Ocean City, Maryland, okay? And that being the case, I want to use my ND filter on this particular lens and do some photography at the wedding. I want to be able to shoot outdoors pretty gingerly with a wide open aperture, get those nice shallow depths of field. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my ND filter on here because I don't expect to use this lens prior to. I might do some close-up work with the bride inside of the house as she's getting ready, and maybe even the groom. But mostly this is just going to be for my outdoor series. And you know, it's not really, this isn't the camera body that I really want this lens on right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch it out. Okay, and we're going to put this lens, which is of course the 85-1.4 by Rokinon, and we're going to put that on the X-T1, mainly because it's a much better focusing camera for this lens. We're going to go ahead and take the battery grip and attach the battery grip to the camera body. And this really gives us a lot of nice heft and weight. Now, because I want to shoot outdoors with the Indy filter, and I need the Indy filter here because I need to be able to slow down. I need my shutter speed so that I can sync with flash outdoors when using this, and which is how I want to use this particular setup. So I need to use the Indy filter. The X-T1 syncs at 1/180th of a second. So that's okay for outdoors. Sometimes I think I've gotten pretty good results at 1/250th, but we'll put it on 1/180th for now and let it stay where it is. That means then that I've got to do something with the X Pro 1. Okay, now an excellent lens for the X Pro 1 is the 18-55, okay, f2.8 to f4. And I love this lens on this camera. It's cool because I get the optical viewfinder with the parallax correction marks, and it's pretty compact and easy to use. So we're going to go ahead and slap that lens on here. Now, once again, we're going to be shooting outdoors mainly, and so I'm going to go ahead and put my polarizing filter on here. If I want to take it off or correct because of being indoors, I will, but for right now, for this particular session, it'll go on. And you notice, I mean, there are people out there that talk all kinds of stories about how you're supposed to go ahead and clean these lenses. I'm tell you right now, I've cleaned lenses with my shirt and these little lens cloths right there for years and never had any scratches come up on them. I'm going to continue to do that because that's just me. Okay. Okay, so we've got that on here, and then of course we'll be outdoors, so I'll use my pedal hood, but yeah, it's kind of a personal preference. I usually use a lens hood when I'm outside and it's bright. It's pretty standard stuff for me. Okay, so where are we going? And this camera is only 1/125th of a second that it syncs at, so bully for you. We're not done yet. Okay, we're not done. I've got to get one more polarizing filter. Now, I use the Hoya polarizing filters. You can use pretty much whatever you want. The Hoya works nice for me, and I find that it's between 1 to 2 stops, 1.5 or 2 stops, somewhere in there, of light that it reduces. So it's got some density, and in fact, I mean, you can see that it's definitely got some color, you know. So the nice part is that I'm trying to say there is that the lens itself, it helps to gate the light. Now on the X100S, I don't necessarily need the light to be gated because it's got an Indy filter built into it, but having that extra stop and a half for this filter on its darkest is nice. It's nice because the 3-stop Indy filter is just augmented to 4.5 stops at that point. And once again, this is outdoors. This camera is the camera I usually use when I'm shooting the wedding reception, and I'm running around inside of everybody dancing. And if you look on my website, you see all those images. If it looks like I'm like real close and right in the middle of the action, it's this 23mm lens that gets it done, and I really like that about it. Outdoors, I'll use this flash right here, the EFX20. That works absolutely great. And because it's directional outdoors, you need that much more directional light anyway, so it just turns out to work just fine. Now, the wedding's on Sunday. Today is Thursday night. Once it passes midnight, it'll be Friday. And so, you know, we're a day or so early getting these things together, but that's because we're going to travel on Friday, have a good time on Saturday, have a wedding on Sunday, come back Monday. So, I mean, I love these weddings when I get to go out of town for weddings. They're outdoors, they're out of town, and it's just so much fun for me. I go to do some work on one day, but the rest of the time is a vacation, you know. All right, so now we've got the working cameras done, okay, which is important. Cameras, these are the cameras that are going to make the money this weekend. So now it's time to figure out what we're going to put where as far as SD card. And so, just depends, man. I'm anal retentive about this. I'm real OCD, like what gets what. I'm too OCD, really. So let's start with my iFi card. That'll stay out. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay. Then this one won't go anywhere either. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put, first of all, you didn't notice this, but I've got I didn't tell you about it either. I've got a handy cam here. This is what I use for my point of view videos. I know it might sound crazy. You're like, oh, you gotta use a DSLR. It's great B-roll. Excellent B-roll comes out of these things. And just, hey, everybody's got their own strokes, right? Different strokes for different folks. This is what I use. And I'm going to put, because of how I want to record, I'm going to put the, shoot. I thought I had a 64 gigabyte card. It's like 128 or 64, whatever. Okay, so I've got them. That's the difference. I just don't know where they are. All right, we'll put the 128 gigabyte card in here. Actually, I need to check and see what's on this card first. So let's just put it in. So the X100S, you got to access the SD card from the bottom. It is what it is. Let's see what we got. Just thinking about it. There's a lot on here. Okay, so we've got, got a wedding on here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clear all this out. You know, every single time, it's crazy. I love this camera. Every time I pick it up, I see my images and I see this camera. I really enjoy using it. Oh man, yeah. So I've got this wedding. Here's 2 weddings I've already delivered, and that's another thing. I always make a couple copies, and I never delete the SD card until I'm done. But yeah, so that's the case. This is, how cool is that? I just like it. I'm gonna erase all of this. Format this card. People say no, don't format. Here we go. Erase all data. Boom. Okay. All right, no image on it. So turn it off, take the card out. Okay, we're done with that. All right. And this 128 gigabyte card, actually I already know what's on here. There's not really anything on here, it's lots of extra stuff, so I'll go ahead and format that too. Sometimes I put like videos and different things on it. Actually, let's think about what's on here. I'll turn this off. We'll leave my 256 gigabyte card alone for a minute. So we got the 128, the 32, and then the 16. Well, I hate doing it that way. I'm gonna have a lot of images. I know it's all crazy. You guys are just watching this. There's nobody watching this. It's okay. Format. Okay, good. Let's look at this 32 gigabyte card. Oh yeah, Bobby's wedding. Yeah. Okay, so that's on here. That's been delivered, so it's ready to just it's ready to delete as well. Format. Okay, so that one's done. All right. 32. I do this one. So 16 gigabyte card. It's not even worth having. So there's a couple reasons. Why would you want a 16 gigabyte card? Sometimes people are going to do 16 gigabytes, so they switch out their cards more often, so you get some card redundancy going on. Oh, this is the fun park. Yeah, how cool was that? Did I get all these photos? Yeah, I did. All right, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. All right. So we're good to go. Well, kind of. We really need this 32 gigabyte, this 128 gigabyte card to be ready to do some work. And I'm just going to go ahead and format it. All right, so that means we're good. Now, because we did that, means we can put the cards where we want. I got another 128 gigabyte card as well. It's in my phone. I could break it out, but I didn't want to. So we're going to take the 128 gig card and we're going to put it here. And make sure that it actually will turn on and initialize it. We're going to take the 256 gigabyte card, put it in the XT1. Okay. Says card not initialized. We'll figure out if there's something on the card. I might have to put it into my computer to format it. Turn it off, see what it does. Let's see, do I get a picture? Yeah, it figures that there's something there. Okay. Okay, so let's turn it off. Take the card out just to make sure. Put the card back in. I know, I'm having so much fun. You guys just don't even know. You're like, what? He's having so much fun? Who? All right, great. Good. This camera amazes me too, man. Just about how smooth it is. The operation's great. You know, 16 megapixels APS-C sensor. Really nice for the way that I shoot. We'll go ahead and turn that on lock. I'm going to go back here and get all my settings set on all the cameras here in just a second. We got this figured out. So this is working. So we're good. Now, for now, we're going to take this camera and put it over here in its little housing. Okay, I'm serious. I use this all the time. And I'll be taking a couple things that go along with it, such as this, in order to be able to monitor it real simply while I'm out there at the wedding. And now all we got to do is just get these guys put together. And what I'm going to do is put these 32 and 32 gigabyte cards into cameras, and this 16 gigabyte card can go fly a kite. All right. And so now that that's all said and done, we're really ready to rock and roll. This one is actually a little bit faster than the other one, and the X Pro 2 will benefit, or the X Pro 1 will benefit from this SD card more. And then this one can go right here. Lots of times, I'd shoot using the iFi card in this one, or this one, because they don't have Wi-Fi built into it. But I'm not so worried about it right now. Just kind of is what it is. When I set up a photo booth, then that's exactly what I do. I use one card, I use the iFi card in it, and it works nicely. All right, so the idea now is I should be good to go with all of my SD cards, right? I'm going to take these 3 SD cards. I'm just going to put them on top for the time being. And if I need them, once I take them, I'll have them, but I don't think I'll need them. Okay, so there we go. It's time to get the dressing put up on my X100S. And next thing that I do is I start putting all the settings together. I corroborate the settings. Now, okay, so it gets a little different on this lens. The Rokinon 85 f1.4 needs a little help sometimes, differently sharpening and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one up a little bit different than the other ones. Actually, they all have a slightly different setup. So go ahead and hit my quick menu. I look and see where I am. In this instance, I want to shoot raw and fine, or no, yeah, I'll shoot raw and fine. I don't care. And that means I got 800 shots with this particular SD card. Okay, with raw and fine. When you're going out of town, you're going to shoot a paid gig. You should always do your very best to shoot everything that you need. And so in this instance, raw and fine is where it's going to be. So now that we know that, okay, my other settings are my standard noise reduction 0 on this camera. I really like vivid, but I don't. I actually just go to standard and +2 on color, +1 on sharpness, and -2, -2. And that's going to give me a real nice color just out of the JPEG. I can adjust my white balance, but usually, I mean, guys, Fuji is pretty spot on. The one thing that I will do is when I get to the beach, sometimes clouds come over a little bit and trick the camera, so you get a beach scene that instead of has the orange look to it, has the yellow, it has the kind of green. So I will switch that up. So once that happens, once we get to the beach, I'll shoot on a % Kelvin, probably something with my flash around 5300, just to be able to have a very consistent look through all of that. And because you're going to turn to shoot into the light and out of the light, so I don't want to mess with any of those things. It doesn't really matter on RAW, but for JPEG, it does matter. And many times, the Fuji JPEGs are exactly or very close to where I want them to be, because I don't really like to do a lot of cropping. I like to get my shot very close to the way it needs to be in the camera. I don't believe in doing a lot of cropping, so if I need to fill the frame more, I just move closer. I don't tend to zoom unless I have to, and that also means that I can get a better quality image because I'm getting closer to the actual subject. That's pretty good. So having your settings key if you're shooting JPEG is important, and since I'm shooting RAW plus JPEG, it matters quite a bit that my JPEG comes out looking nice. Hit my quick menu here. Once again, standard +2. I'm going to go +2 on the sharpness, and then, or actually, I don't even need that. I'll just do +1. Actually, I'll do 0 here. That's right. All right, so this lens is a very sharp, very accurate lens, and the Fuji X Pro 1 does a good job. So I don't use the same sharpening for my JPEGs here as I do here. Because you're working with a wide-angle lens, and sometimes I'm taking very large shots that are very wide that may have a group of people, I add a little extra sharpening here in the processing inside the camera. Of course, I can do that all later because I shoot RAW as well, but it's definitely important to note. And then I'm not going to use any noise reduction, but I still have -2 and -2 on my highlight tones and shadow tones. Okay, and this one, because the RAW images are 32 megabytes here, the RAW images are 24 megabytes here. The JPEGs are around 10 or 12. The JPEGs are still around 8 or 10. I get around 1,025 shots out of this camera compared to 800 there. But this camera's all set up, so we're ready to go. That means that the last one to set up is my Vanguard trusty Fuji X-T1. So we're going to turn that sucker on, and large fine, we need to go, first thing is go ahead and move it to RAW and fine. And then this particular lens, I'm going to sharpen to, I think I feel pretty good right here. Color -1, we're going to saturate the color just a little bit. We're going to get a +2. And we should be good. And noise reduction, I add a little extra noise reduction here for this lens. Now, I know, it'd be real easy to go ahead and set this as a custom. I guess I could use that as my C1 or C2. So I go into menu and go into my film simulation settings, go to my customs. Select edit save custom setting, and I'll go and make this custom 2. Save current settings for custom 2. Okay, then back. Okay, good. So now I've got custom 1 and custom 2 right over here, and it's just real easy to flip through. The only problem is there, I don't usually use that feature a lot, so I find that I forget it. And this big card, I got 6,000 shots here. Now, the reason that it's important to have 128 gigs in here is because I'm going to be using this also to do video. In fact, I'm going to do video with all of these cameras, so I might as well make sure that they're set up right now, just so that we can see. Video setup, screen setup. Yeah. Full HD, 60 frames. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not even going to use the internal mic, so I don't really care. But that's pretty much all I can do. 60 frames. And then this is actually at 30, I think 32 or 35 megabyte bitrate, which isn't bad. People people mess with Fuji about their video and everything. It's whatever. Let's see where they put it. The menus are different from camera to camera. So I'm having a hard time finding it over here. Let's find out. Image quality fine plus raw image. Maybe they put it over there? Nope. Dynamic range. I always have that set to, auto or whatever. Film simulation, bracketing, self-timer, white balance, color sharpness, long exposure. I'm not worried about it that much. I'll find it somewhere. It's crazy that it's not in here. Auto power off. Whatever. I'll find it in a minute. Always has my flash operating something weird on here. Anyway, that's I don't know where it is on there. It's gonna take me a few minutes to find all that out. It doesn't look like too many people showed up for the video, which is okay. It wasn't that exciting. I wanted to show you here pretty much the cameras that I was taking and a little bit more. I thought that some people would be here, but I'm just going to go ahead and close out now. Guys, I'm Robert Ham. I hope you enjoyed this, those that may be watching it later. And these are just some of it. Actually, I was going to get out to all of my gear, but it'll be easier for me just to pack it up, and maybe I'll announce this next time so that more people will have the opportunity to join in. Guys, I hope that it was fun for you. I'm Robert Ham, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Keep shooting, my friends.